Good evening, universe. Tonight I'm going to be talking about the 10 books releasing next year that I am most excited for. Book 1 that I am super excited for that's coming out in 2023 actually comes out on January 3rd, and this is The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. This is the first book in a sequel duology to the Folk of the Air series, which is very popular. It's got The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing in it. And I absolutely love that series. I loved the characters a ton, and so I'm really excited to see this new exploration of that same world with some new characters set in the future. Even though I am super excited, I am also a little bit hesitant just because it seems like some of the dynamics are going to be pretty similar to what we saw in the Folk of the Air. But I'm still excited to see where she takes it and to get to meet these new characters and see what they're like. Plus, it'll just be great returning to this world. The next one is called The Heavenly Sword by Alice Poon, and it comes out on January 10th. So this one is about a goddess who's sent to the mortal realm or goes to the mortal realm in order to stop an opposing, I think, god king from usurping her throne. So in order to do this, she's reborn as a village girl. And it seems like there's an enemies to lovers component. There's a lot of magic. Elements of it are based on Chinese folklore, and there's a lot to it that seems really exciting. Plus, the cover is just really beautiful. This seems really interesting and different, and I'm super excited to check this one out. Plus, my wife is really excited for it, which is great because she's not too much of a reader, so I always like to buy books that I think she will read also. So I'm definitely excited to check this one out. Number 3 is Lost in the Moment and Found by Seanan McGuire. This also comes out on January 10th. And this is the latest entry in the Wayward Children series, which is a portal fantasy series that follows like a different group of kids or a single kid who get transported to a magical realm. And half of the books are set on Earth with like the ramifications of having gone to a magical realm and come back, and the other half are the actual adventures into the magical realms. The last one that we got was an Earth one, so I am extra excited because I always love seeing the fresh new worlds that we get to travel to in this series. Even though I really enjoy the ones that are set on Earth too, there's something just so special about getting to see the portal worlds that these characters travel to. Plus, it's always nice getting to meet a new character, which I believe we do in this one. I don't really know what this one is about other than that. Like, I don't know what the world is like or what the character is like or anything like that, but I'm still really excited for it. Then we have Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This is out January 31st, and it is the third book in the Last Hours series. This is another Shadowhunters series, which is like a sequel series to the Infernal Devices. So it takes place in historical London, and it follows the adventures of our main characters, Cordelia, James, and Lucy, as they battle demons and mostly as they try to navigate interpersonal relationships in really fun and interesting ways. I always love the Shadowhunters books, and I am super excited for this one. I think this is going to be my favorite series of the individual Shadowhunters series. Cordelia is definitely my favorite lead so far, and I am so excited for this conclusion. There are so many things that were set up in the last book to make this one like super interesting and exciting, and I can't wait. Book 5 is Lucha and the Night Forest by Tehlor Mejia. This comes out on March 22nd, so we have a little bit of a gap in there, which is great, so I'll have time to catch up on all those books. I don't know too much about this one. All I basically know about it is that it's about a girl who is torn between her love for her sister and her desire for freedom. There's YA fantasy, and I know that it's queer in some way. So I'm pretty excited for that. Like I said, I don't know too much about it, but I do love familial bonds and dealing with complicated relationships there. So I'm excited to check this out when it arrives. Book 5 is A Door in the Dark. This is by Scott Reintgen. Reintgen, and it comes out on March 28th. It is described as One of Us is Lying meets A Deadly Education. I absolutely love both of those books, so that's pretty much all I needed to know. But further than that, I guess what happens is there's a group of wizards who try to do a portal spell, and instead of it sending them to their destination, it goes wrong, and it lands them in this dark wood with mysterious, bad stuff in it. And so it follows them as they try to survive the wilderness, as well as delving into the secrets that each of them is carrying. I think there's like 6 wizards, and one of them dies in the process of the failed spell. This definitely sounds really cool, and I'm super excited to check it out. I guess I'm just going to keep saying that. I love magic books and wizard books and mysteries, so this all sounds really up my alley. Book 6 is Master of Souls by Rena Barron, and this is out on April 11th, or that's when it's expected to come out. This is the 3rd and final book in the Kingdom of Souls trilogy, which follows Ara, who is the daughter of 2 very powerful magic users. Unfortunately, she weirdly doesn't have any magic, even though she definitely should from having such powerful parents. I'm not going to get into what the 3rd book is about because there are so many twists and turns to this series, and I don't want to give away anything about what the plot would be in this one, but it starts out with her on a quest to try and discover her own magic. There's a lot of political intrigue, there's a great romance, and there are gods and a really cool magic system. I've really been enjoying this series, and the high fantasy setting is fantastic. So I'm really excited to see where this last book goes. Book 7 is The Sun and the Star by Mark Oshiro and Rick Riordan. This takes place in the universe of Percy Jackson and follows 2 demigods, Nick D'Angelo and Will Solis, as they travel to Tartarus. I absolutely love these 2, and I am so excited to see a book dedicated to them. Plus, I absolutely love Tartarus. It is one of my favorite parts of, like, Greek lore. So I'm really excited to see this adventure and to see a joint effort between Rick Riordan and another author, because I don't think we've seen that yet. And I'm excited to see what their dynamic is like when they write together. Again, it goes to a setting that I absolutely love, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a great time with this no matter what, and I can't wait to see it. In case I didn't say so already, this is out on May 2nd. Well, at some point in this video I lost count, but this is book number 9, and it is going to be The Sun and the Void by Gabriela Romero LaCruz. This is going to be out on July 25th. This is an adult fantasy set in a world inspired by South America. It's sapphic, it deals with colonialism, and it has ancient magics. Plus, it's book 1 in a series called The Warring Gods. All of that sounds really fantastic and exciting to me. There are 2 lead women in it from what I can tell. One of them is the granddaughter of a dark sorceress, and now she's indebted to her grandmother because her grandmother saved her life in some way. The other woman has magic that is calling to her, but magic is punishable by death in this world, so she's trying to resist it. But I get the feeling that she's not going to be able to do that for too long. All of this sounds really interesting. Plus, once again, the cover and the title are both really beautiful, and I'm super excited to check this out. And finally, we have another Percy Jackson book. This is going to be Percy Jackson and the Chalice of the Gods, out on September 25th by Rick Riordan. This is a classic Percy Jackson story, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, number 6. In which Percy is trying to go to college, but he needs letters of recommendation, and the only way the gods are going to give it to him is if he goes on a quest. Of course, because he hasn't done enough yet. I'm really interested to see if there's going to be another overarching kind of plot line, because usually in the Percy Jackson books, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, or the Heroes of Olympus, the Trials of Apollo, usually each book is like, we're doing this one plot, but also there's this other bigger plot going on at the same time. So I'm interested to see if there's going to be one of those, because Rick Riordan didn't really make it clear if this was going to be the start of a series or not. And honestly, I think it's going to be weird if it is just like a one contained book, but we're also probably getting that with the sun and the star. So I'm really interested to see where this is going to go, and I think it's going to be really nice just to have a Percy Annabeth Grover adventure once again. So those are all the books that I'm most excited for coming out in 2023. I probably won't read them all immediately, especially with that clump in January, just because I won't have time to get to all of them. Plus, I'm also going to be trying to whittle down my TBR, which is why I limited myself to 10 books that I'm excited about. But these all sound really good to me. Please let me know if you have any books that you're excited about coming out next year, if they're the same ones that I listed or some other ones that I missed. Definitely let me know. And most importantly, have a beautiful night, universe.